Okay, so let's begin with today's lecture. Today we are going to first understand what is the rank of a matrix and then how to find rank of a matrix. So let me give you just the definition of it. So rank of a matrix is the number of non-zero rows in row reduced echelon form of that matrix. Now, you can ask this question, why we need to find rank or what is the usage of it. So I will tell you for the time being, you just learn this because later on, when we will be introducing the next concept of vector space, there you will see that how rank is being used and how it is an important quantity to be determined. So right now we are just focusing on how to find rank of a matrix. So it's clear, the definition is very clear that it is nothing but the number of non-zero rows in a row reduced echelon form of that matrix. So what you will be given? You will be given a matrix, and everybody knows that every matrix can be converted into a row reduced echelon form. And once you find the row reduced echelon form, then we know that there may be some zero rows. If you recall the examples which we have done in previous lectures, in one of the example, no zero row was created, and in another example, the zero row was created. So whatever zero rows are created, so you just need to count the number of non-zero rows in the row reduced echelon form. That will be the rank of the matrix. So let's quickly do one example to find rank. Yes, I'm giving you 1 minute to do this question and tell me the rank. So you need to apply elementary row operations to convert this into RREF and then just count the number of non-zero rows. So everybody do that because now that is something you already know. Then start writing your answers in the chat box once you finish this one. Simultaneously converting this into row reduced echelon form: 1 2 1, 2 3 4, 1 3 minus 1, 8 13 14. So the first row operations will be R2 changes to R2 minus 2R1, R3 changes to R3 minus R1, R4 changes to R4 minus 8 times R1. So this will give me 1 2 1, 0 minus 1 2, 0 1 minus 2, 0 minus 3, minus 6. And then I'm going to use the operation R2 changes to R2 into minus 1, and then we have R1 changes to R1 minus 2R2, R3 changes to R3 minus R2, and R4 changes to R4 plus 3 R2. So this further set of operations will give me 1, 2 minus 2 0, and 1 plus 4, this is 5, 0, 1 minus 2, and this will be simply subtracted all zeros, and this is 3 times you add, so this will be all zeros. Yes, so this is the final row reduced echelon form, and now you just see the count the number of non-zero rows. Just a minute. Yes, it is plus 6. Yes. Yes, so the rank is 2. So the number of non-zero rows is 2. So the rank of given matrix is 2. So that's how the question was. I just hope most of you should be able to do this one, because it's nothing new. It's the same thing which we did yesterday. All what you need to know is how to convert into row reduced echelon form. So if your row reduced echelon form will be accurate, you will be correctly telling the rank of the matrix. So you just count the two non-zero rows are there, because these two are completely zero rows, right? So you just count them, and this is the notation. In some books you will find the completely written rank, and while in some books you will find this small r as a notation for finding rank, so you can use this notation as well. So I'm not going to do more questions on that, because it's the same thing basically, right? So yeah, let me move ahead towards the next result, because now we have to connect all these thing with finding solution of system of linear equations. So let me again tell you, in the first lecture also of the linear algebra, I told you that what is system of linear equations, so I'll be directly writing that. So symbolically, how we can write system of linear equations, so it will be like a11 x1, a12 x2, a13 x3, and so on, a1n xn, and there will be something on the right hand side, let's call it b1. And then you have a21 x1, a22 x2, a23 x3, a2n xn, and this is b2. And let's say we have m equations, m3 x3, a mn xn is equal to bm. Now this is something you already know, because we know this is how the system of equation looks like. 2x1 plus 3x2 is 5, 3x1 minus 4x2 is 8, so something like that. So we do have coefficients, and we do have a right hand side vector. Rest all is just the unknown variables x1, x2, x3. So I am writing a system of how many equations? M equations in n variables. This is what I am writing, right? And the symbols I have used for coefficients are a11, a12, a13, because we know that ultimately we need to express it in matrix form. So the matrix form is ax is equal to b, where a is a11, a12, a1n, and AM1, AM2, AMN. So this is a M cross N matrix and known as the coefficient matrix. And what is B? B is known as the right hand side vector, because it's just a column, B1, B2, Bm. So it's a M cross 1 column vector. It's just one single column. And x we know is the unknown, x1, x2, xn. So makes sense, because now when you will multiply m cross n matrix with x is n cross 1, right? It has n variables. So what should be the resultant matrix size? It should be, sorry, m cross 1, not m cross n. Yeah, so this is how we represent the given system of equations into matrix form. Now the point is, What we do with this matrix form is, now we are ultimately moving towards the solution. But before giving you the example that how to find the solution, let me give you few definitions. Okay, so the first remark or definition you can say, if b, now b, this small b I am using, but this is actually a vector, right? So if b means I am calling this the right hand side vector. If this is 0, 0 means 0 vector. 0 vector means all b1, b2, bm, all the right hand side of all the equations, all of them are 0, right? All right hand side entries are 0. For example, you have 2x1 plus 3x2 plus 4x3 is 0. x1 minus 2x2 minus 3x3 is 0. 6x1 plus 4x2 is equal to 0. So you see your right hand side is all 0. Then the system is said to be homogeneous. Homogeneous system of linear equations, right? So it's the same thing which we even did in differential equations. We remember that if the right hand side of the differential equation was 0, we call it homogeneous differential equation. While if we had something on the right hand side non-zero, we call it non-homogeneous. So if b is non-zero, now non-zero vector means at least one of these b1, b2, bm is non-zero. Okay, so being 0 means everything should be 0, but being non-zero as a vector means one of the element is also non-zero, then also the whole system is said to be non-homogeneous. For example, the same example if I put here, and the right hand side is something like 0 2 0. So even if one of the entry is non-zero, then that system is said to be non-homogeneous, right? So I hope that is clear. Just the definition: right hand side 0 homogeneous, right hand side non-zero, then it is non-homogeneous. Now we have another term for these systems. This term is consistent. When do we say a system of equations is consistent? So a system of linear equations is said to be consistent if it has at least one solution, right? So the given system of equations, if the system is having at least one solution, then we say the system is consistent. Otherwise, if there exists no solution to the system, then it is said to be inconsistent, right? So there are three possibilities. Now this definition, this definition for consistent and inconsistent system, this is general, applicable to both homogeneous and non-homogeneous system, right? So this is a general definition. So that means we always have three possibilities as our answer. That when you will be given system of equations, you will be giving one of the answers. The first possibility is there is exactly one solution. Just like here I told you, it has at least one solution. So the word at least means there can be one solution also, there can be more than one also. So it has exactly one solution. So in this case the answer is given like the system has unique solution. The second possibility is there is more than one solution, and in this case you will find automatically, you will find this thing through examples, that actually there will be infinitely many solutions. So this is a very wonderful property of the system of linear equations. You cannot give me a system of linear equations having two solutions, right? Either there will be one solution or it will be infinite. There is nothing in between. So you will have either a unique solution, you will have either a infinitely many solutions. This is theoretical result, but you will see this demonstration of this result directly through examples. Third possibility is no solution. So in the first two cases, our system is consistent, while for the third case, our system is inconsistent. Okay, so these are just the understanding of the terms. Now we will give you some conditions that how would you know whether a given system of equation is just consistent or inconsistent. So there are some conditions which will help you to determine the consistency and inconsistency of the system. And once those conditions you satisfy, the next task will be to find those solutions. Yes, anybody has any doubt up till this point, then you can ask. Yes, Uday, to answer your question, both B and X are column vectors. Okay, so I just hope these are clear because just terms are there, nothing else. So let me move ahead towards the next term which we are going to introduce is augmented matrix. Now this is something you might probably know already, augmented matrix. So we have this system AX is equal to B. So we know that A is known as the coefficient matrix. Now I am going to construct a new matrix A. I will append the right hand side in this. So this is a notation how it is, right? The sorry, A has size m cross n. This matrix has size m cross n plus 1. You increase one column in the original matrix. What to put in that column? The right hand side vector. So this matrix we call the augmented matrix, right? So we will construct this matrix. Now why it is useful, why we define augmented matrix? So because the result which will tell you that when we have the solution or when we do not have the solution, that is in terms of augmented matrix. So let me give you the result, which is the basically theorem which will tell you when we are going to have a solution. So existence and uniqueness of solution of linear system of equations. Anyway, the name of the theorem does not matter. What matters is the result. So the result says that the system of linear equations Ax is equal to B has a solution. Has a solution means this is a consistent system if and only if. If and only if you mean the result is both ways. If and only if A and this matrix AB, the augmented matrix, that means the coefficient matrix and the augmented matrix, they should have same rank, right? So this is where the rank is going to be used. Earlier I told you how to find the rank, so this is going to be used here. You will find rank of coefficient matrix, you will find rank of the augmented matrix. So if they turn out to be exactly same, only then your system is going to be consistent, right? Means at least one solution. Otherwise, inconsistent means no solution. So firstly, we got to know that uh, we have if rank of A is same as rank of this matrix, augmented matrix, then we have the consistent system. And if rank of A is not equal to rank of the augmented matrix, then we have the inconsistent system. Now, when we have no solution or inconsistent system, the question finishes there only. But when we have the consistent system, right? Because the question will be if consistent, then find the solution. Then the task is to find the solution. Okay, now here also you have two possibilities. Unique solution can be there, or there can be infinitely many solutions, right? So now we need to know, when do we have the unique solution and when do we have the infinitely many solution. What is that condition which will decide when we are going to have a unique solution and the other case? So in this case, where the condition is, so that is the continuation of the above statement, right? If rank of A is same as rank of B, obviously that condition is the first condition, they should be same. Now we are saying they are same but it equal to n. What is n? N is the number of variables, your unknowns, x1, x2, xn, or you can also say it is nothing but the number of columns in the coefficient matrix A, right? So they are same, but what is the value? Just like the previous question, we found the rank was is equal to 2. So now the rank is going to have certain value. So if that value is equal to n, in that case we have unique solution. Otherwise, otherwise what will happen? Otherwise, this rank which is actually equal but both of them are strictly less than n, right? Strictly less than n. Then we have the other possibility, infinitely many solutions. There is no other possibility for rank that it will be greater than n. This is a theoretical result. The rank of a matrix can never be equal to the number of rows or the number of columns. It's always going to be less than that. So there, it can be maximum equals to that. So I hope these results are clear. I'll just repeat very quickly and then we will do the questions for the same. So it says, firstly, when we have consistency, when we have inconsistency. So if the rank of A is same as rank of AB, then consistent, otherwise inconsistent. Further, if that rank is equal to the number of columns, then we have the unique solution. Otherwise, we have the infinitely many solutions, right? So now let's move ahead to do the questions in which we will be computing the rank of A and rank of augmented matrix B. And then the point here is, these results which I have told you, this existence and uniqueness, this result, this is both for homogeneous and non-homogeneous system. This result is for both. The point is, we get little bit simple calculations when we have the homogeneous system, because the right hand side is going to be 0. So in that case, basically you will not require to use augmented matrix. The main use of augmented matrix will come in non-homogeneous systems. In homogeneous system, it is rather easy to solve. So I'll just do an example and tell you that how to solve for homogeneous. So we will do two type of questions. Firstly, solve a homogeneous system, that is rather easy to solve, and then we will do the for the non-homogeneous systems. So let me do the first example. So this question is, solve the homogeneous system of equations. Ax is equal to 0. So you will find this 0 written as a little bit bolder because this denotes a 0 vector, where A, so you are given the coefficient matrix. So the coefficient matrix is 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 6, 12. So in this case, all what you have to do is to apply the row operations. Now I'm actually telling you the technique of solving a homogeneous system of equations. Before solving this question, one more point I would like to make here, that a homogeneous system of equations. It's linear equations by default. Okay, we are in linear only, so I'm not writing linear, but it's understood, it's linear. A homogeneous system of equations is always consistent. Yes. Can anybody give me the reason why so? It is always going to have a solution, the homogeneous system of equations. Yes. Can anybody justify? Think about it. 0, 0, 0. Yes, Pratham, you're right. It always has 0, 0, 0 solution. Everybody can see that whatever equations I write, because the right hand side is 0, so the 0 solution is always there. 2x plus 2x1 plus 3x2 is 0, 4x1 minus x2 is 0, so the right hand side is 0. So x1 is 0, x2 is 0, will always satisfy the system. So this 0 solution is basically, you can say, the 0 solution is always there, but this is known as the trivial solution. Trivial solution means this is something everybody knows, right? You don't need to learn any technique to find this solution. This is by default satisfied, that if I take everything 0, the right hand side is going to be 0. So the point is, we have to find the non-trivial solutions if they are existing. Okay, so there are two possibilities for a homogeneous system of equations. Either there exists only 0 solution, or there exists other non-zero solutions also. So these kind of questions are doing, we are doing to find the other solutions, not the 0 solution, because 0 is already known to us. So now let's move ahead. Okay, so it's simply, the way to solve is you apply row operations to the coefficient matrix A and reduce it to row reduced echelon form. So first task is this, first step is this, and then I will tell you how to find the solution. So let's do that quickly. You are given a matrix 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 1, 1, 1. Let's reduce this to row reduced echelon form. Okay, so what operations we are using? R2 changes to R2 minus R1. R3 changes to R3 minus R1. So this will give me 1, 2, 3, 4, subtraction 0, minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, subtraction 0, 0, 3, and here we have 8, right? The next operation I'm going to use is R2 changes to R2 by minus 1, because I want to make this plus 1. So this will give me 1, 2, 3, 4, 0, 1, 2, 3, 0, 0, 3, 8. Now I want to make this 2, 0. So R1 changes to R1 minus 2 R2, 1. So this will be 0. So it's 3 minus 4 minus 1. It's 4 minus 6 minus 2. 0, 1, 2, 3, and this is 0, 0, 3, 8. Now I should move to third row. So the third row, the leading term is 3. So I need to convert it into 1. So by 3, I have to do 0, 1, 2, 3, 0, 0, 1, 8 by 3. So in the third column now I have to make these two zeros, this minus 1 and 2, these two should be converted to zeros. So yeah, so the operations are R2 changes to R2 minus 2 times R3, and R1 changes to R1 plus R3, right? So 1, 0, minus 1 plus 1 will be 0, minus 2 plus 8 by 3. So minus 6 plus 8, so it's 2 by 3, 0, 1, 0, it's 2 times, right? So it's 3 minus 16 by 3. So that is minus 7 by 3, 0, 0, 1, 8 by 3, right? So first, so it's done. So it's the row reduced echelon form. All of you will agree this will be row reduced echelon form. No further reduction is possible, right? So once you get the row reduced echelon form, how you have to find back the solution is you write it back into the original form. Now, what was your original system? Your original system was Ax is equal to 0. Now, instead of A, you will be writing this matrix. So, this matrix is 1, 0, 0, 2 by 3, 0, 1, 0, minus 7 by 3, 0, 0, 1, 8 by 3 into x. So, you have three variables because the number of, you have four variables here, not three, because the matrix size is 3 cross 4, so it has to be 4 variables. And this side you have 0, 0, 0. Right. So how will you solve this one? So you start from the, you can start from any row because the matrix is already been converted into row reduced echelon form. So you write it back into the equation language. Okay. So what will happen if you multiply first row with the vector x1, x2, x3, x4? It will be 1 times x1 plus 2 by 3 times x4, because you see this is 0 times x2, 0 times x3, 2 by 3 times x4. This is equal to 0. Right hand side is 0. So I'm transferring this information back into the system of equation language. So x1 plus 2 by 3 x4 is 0. So this gives me x1 is minus 2 by 3 times x4. Second equation will give me x2 minus 7 by 3 times x4 is 0. So this will give me x2 is 7 by 3 times x4. Third equation is x3 plus 8 by 3 x4 is 0. So this is x3 is minus 8 by 3 x4. So basically you get every variable x1, x2, x3 in terms of x4. So there is no unique solution because this x4 can have any value. Now x4 is your free variable. Free variable, it can have any arbitrary value, and depending upon what value x4 will take, your x1, x2, x3 will be decided. So you choose x4 is alpha because we want to give all the solutions. We do not want to give a particular solution. So I will not say choose x4 is 1. If you choose x4 is 1, it will be giving you just one solution. So I will be giving you general infinitely many solutions. So you give x4 is alpha, which is alpha can have any value. So x1 is minus 2 by 3 times alpha, x2 is 7 by 3 times alpha, and x3 is minus 8 by 3 times alpha. So your solution of the given system is, how will you write that, because solution is actually uh, all as a point. So it's minus 2 by 3 alpha comma 7 by 3 alpha minus 8 by 3 alpha alpha. So this is how you write the solution x1, x2, x3, x4. If you get some numerical values like 1000, you write that, but here we are getting this. So this is the solution. And how many solutions are there? There are infinitely many solutions to this system of equations. Clearly they are infinite, right? Whatever alpha you put, you will get a new solution every time. You put alpha is equal to 0, even the 0 solution is obtained from here. So that's about this particular question, in which we solved a homogeneous system and we figured out it has infinitely many solutions. So I have not used the concept of augmented matrix here in solving this question. As you could see, what I did is just applied row operations on coefficient matrix only. In non-homogeneous system, we'll do it differently. We will use this theorem which I have just stated, but for homogeneous system, you don't need to use any result or compute any rank or something like that. What you need to do is simply apply row operations, and in the end, when you will get row reduced echelon form, you do this exercise and you will get your solution. Any doubt till this point? Yes.
Ma'am, here we had four variables and three equations.
Yes.
Ma'am, so there was a rule ना that जितने number of variable होते हैं उतनी number of equation चाहिए होती है solve करने के लिए.
हाँ वो हम इसीलिए बोलते हैं कि जितने वेरिएबल्स उतनी इक्वेशन, बिकॉज उस केस में हमारे पास यूनिक सॉल्यूशन आना होता है. इफ यू हैव 4 इक्वेशंस 4 सॉल्यूशंस, यू विल गेट यूनिक सॉल्यूशन और नो सॉल्यूशन भी आ सकता है. बट ये वो केस है जहाँ पे आपके पास इनफाइनाइटली मेनी सॉल्यूशंस आ रहे हैं. ये यूजुअली हमारे मैथ्स में हम हमेशा ऐसे बोलते हैं कि जितने इक्वेशंस उतने वेरिएबल्स होने चाहिए, because our aim is to find a solution for the system, unique solution. But you see, I have a different system. So we have further categories. मैं आपको terms नहीं ज़्यादा देना चाहती, otherwise इसको हम बता सकते हैं. एक underdetermined system होते हैं, एक overdetermined system होते हैं. So in that case, you will have the other possibility, infinitely many solutions.
ओके मैम, तो हर बार जब मैम इक्वेशंस कम होंगी वेरिएबल से तो हर बार इनफाइनाइट होगा?
अगर सॉल्यूशन एग्जिस्ट करता होगा तो सिस्टम का, यस, देन यू विल हैव इनफाइनाइटली मेनी सॉल्यूशंस.
ओके.
या बिकॉज एक सॉल्यूशन तो एग्जिस्ट, ये तो चलो अब होमोजीनियस की बात कर रहे हैं, इसका तो एक है ही है. बट नॉन होमोजीनियस में हो सकता है कि या नो सॉल्यूशन मिले या इनफाइनाइटली मेनी सॉल्यूशंस मिले. यूनिक आपको उसी केस में मिलेगा व्हेन यू विल हैव एग्जैक्टली द मैचिंग, the number of equation is same as a number of variables. You have a square system. This is not a square system, this is a rectangular system, right? This is over underdetermined system. एक ओवर डिटरमाइंड सिस्टम होते हैं, उनमें सॉल्यूशन होते ही नहीं है, यूजुअली नहीं मिलते हैं. So I just didn't want to confuse you to give so many terms, but yes, that is a valid point. Yes, any other doubt anybody has? Is everybody clear with the thing which we did in the last? I can explain this question once again because you are requesting. So what we were given a solution, a system of homogeneous system of equations. What we have to do is apply row operations on the coefficient matrix. वो किसी भी size की matrix हो सकती है, 3x4, 4x5. It can be 3x3, 4x4. It can be rectangular, it can be square. So once you apply row reduced row operations and ultimately get the row reduced echelon form, so this is in the last you have to do. You write it back in terms of equations one by one. So you will see originally equations were complicated. Originally you had all non-zero terms here. But because if you have converted into row reduced echelon form, so you don't need to, simultaneously solve equations. Every individual equation is giving you solution directly. So this is the benefit of converting into row reduced echelon form. From first equation, I got x1. From second equation, I got x2. From third equation, I got x3 directly. Okay. So that is what is going to happen because of RRES. And since they are coming in terms of one variable x4, so therefore there are infinitely many solutions of this homogeneous system of equations. Yes, Tanmay, you are asking how it is RREF. RREF, I have explained you, this is the row reduced echelon form. You can unmute yourself and ask me the doubt if it is not clear. Otherwise, I'll move ahead. Okay, so I just hope that is clear. So let me move ahead with the next example. So this example which I am going to pick up is of non-homogeneous system of equations, because for homogeneous, you will be doing the same thing all the time. So let me pick another example. So this time we have a non-homogeneous system of equations. X minus y plus 3z is 1. 2x plus y minus z is 2. 3x minus y plus 2z is 2. So you are given this. You can be directly given the coefficient matrix and the right hand side vector, but here it is given as system of linear equations. So our A coefficient matrix is going to be 1, 2, 3, minus 1, 1, minus 1, 3 minus 1, 2, and the right hand side is going to be 1, 2, 2. So this is A, this is B. So what is the process of solving non-homogeneous system of equation is, firstly we will check consistency, means whether there exists a solution or not. So for this, we will be using that theorem. So that theorem requires you to compute rank of A and rank of the augmented matrix AB. So you will see that you don't need to find two ranks. Rather, we will be directly just working on augmented matrix. It will give you both ranks automatically, the rank of A as well as rank of augmented matrix B. So let's construct the augmented matrix and do this step, and then we will comment further. So how to construct the augmented matrix? So this is, sorry, 1 minus 1, 3, 2, 1 minus 1, 3 minus 1, 2. And here you just make a virtual partition in order to remember that this is not the coefficient matrix, this is the augmented matrix. The last column is B, the right hand side one. So the way you applied row operations on A in previous question, now we will be applying row operations on this matrix because we want to find the rank of this. So the procedure to finding the rank is convert into row reduced echelon form, and then we will count the number of non-zero rows. So you apply operations in a similar sense and find the rank of this matrix. So again, very quickly. So R2 changes to R2 minus 2R1. R3 changes to R3 minus 3R1. So this will give you 1 minus 1, 3, 1, and 0, 3, minus 7, 0, 0, 2, minus 7, minus 1. So what is the point to remember here? That on the right hand side column also the operations need to be applied, right? So B पे भी operations लगेंगे. This is a part of your matrix. Although we have theoretically written it separately, showing a partition, but you have to apply operations on the last column, till the last column also. And then again, uh, what you will be getting. So I'm writing directly the the RREF. You do all the steps because now we have done many questions. So you do all the steps. I'm writing directly the row reduced echelon form. 5 by 7, 1, 3 by 7. So this will be RREF of the augmented matrix B. Right. So can you tell me what is rank of augmented matrix B? What is the rank of augmented matrix B? 3, yeah, because you just need to count the number of non-zero rows. So if you count the number of non-zero rows, so this is 3. And from here only you will find rank of A. What is the rank of coefficient matrix? So that is also 3. To find the rank of coefficient matrix, you will see only up to this part because this part is A, this part complete is AB. तो जब आपको पूरा देखना है तो आप पूरी नॉन जीरो रोज देखोगे, जब आपको सिर्फ ए का देखना है तब आप सिर्फ इतना देखोगे. तो दिस टाइम यू माइट बी कंफ्यूज दैट ये तो हमेशा सेम ही होगा. दिस इज नॉट ऑलवेज गोइंग टू बी सेम एज वी विल सी इन द एग्जांपल्स. कुछ केसेस में यहाँ पे जीरो क्रिएट हो जाएगा, तो उस केस में ऑगमेंटेड मैट्रिक्स का रैंक अलग होगा और कोएफिशिएंट मैट्रिक्स का रैंक अलग होगा. But in this particular example, both of these ranks are 3 and 3. They are same. Now, since they are same, this implies the system is consistent. So the first step is done. We wanted to know whether there exists a solution or not. So this is how you determine whether there exists a solution or not. The ranks are turning out to be same. So once you know the consistency, the second step is, if consistent, then find the solution. So find the solution means, again, now you first need to know whether there is a unique solution or it are infinitely many solutions. So the rank of A is 3 and it is equal to n. What is n? N is the number of unknowns. If you look at the original system, there are 3 unknowns, x, y, z. So that is also 3. The rank is also turning out to be 3. So since they are same, it implies what kind of solution do you have? Unique solution, right? There are no infinitely many solutions, there is unique solution. And now what is the solution? The solution is simply this. Where is the solution? This is the solution. Now, if you transfer it back, if you do it in the same way, the way I explained you for homogeneous, कि यहाँ से equations बना लो, तो आपके पास equations आएंगी x1 is 5/7 because अब ये right hand side है, right? It's not the variable, it's right hand side. So x1 is 5/7, x2 is 1, x3 is 3/7. You see, आपको कुछ भी करने की जरूरत नहीं है. Just read the last column of this augmented matrix once you have already converted into RRES. Remember, this is very important. It should be RRES. If it is not any other form, if it is not completely RRES, then you will read the wrong solution. So just read the last column in the order. Yeah, so sorry, I think it was X, Y, and Z. So whatever, notation doesn't matter. So X, Y, Z is X is 5/7, Y is 1, Z is 3/7. So this is the unique solution of this system. So that completes this example. So in further lectures, we will do more questions for the same. Yes. Tanmay, yes.
Please scroll up a little bit.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
स्टेप स्किप किए हैं, मतलब पूरा आरआरईएफ प्रोडक्शन में जो स्टेप इन्वॉल्व होंगे उसके बाद ही वो वाली मैट्रिक्स आएगी. मैंने सारे स्टेप्स नहीं दिए हैं यहाँ पे.
मैम पिछली एग्जांपल जो थी उसमें जो x1 x2 x3 वो तो 3 वैल्यूज आई थी, बट उसमें हमने इनफाइनाइटली नहीं किया था सॉल्यूशंस.
नहीं 3 कहाँ है?
नहीं मतलब 3 वैल्यूज आई थी.
आप इसकी बात कर रहे हो, ये वाला?
यस मैम, यस. इसमें हमने इनफाइनाइटली कंसीडर किया है ना,
क्योंकि x4 की टर्म्स में आ रहा है ना. आप फाइनल आंसर देखो, फाइनल आंसर है -2/3 टाइम्स अल्फा. अल्फा कैन है x4, एक वेरिएबल एक्स्ट्रा है ना. जब आपके सिस्टम में one of the variables is expressed in terms of other variable, then you always have infinitely many solutions. Because x4 की कोई वैल्यू नहीं है ये आपके पास. x4 is free variable, it can have any value. So since x4 can have any value, so there will be depending upon what values x4 take. अब x4 को 0 डालो, you will get one solution. x4 को 1 डालोगे, you will get another solution. So that is why there are infinitely many. But in this example, you see this has not happened. It's directly numerical, single numerical value is coming. X1 is first value, x2 is second, x3. Because from here only I got to know कि इसमें unique solution ही आएगा. We will do infinitely many solutions वाला example भी करेंगे. आपको फिर clear हो जाएगा कि non homogeneous में infinitely many solutions कैसे आएंगे, वो भी clear हो जाएगा.
Okay ma'am, thank you.
Okay, so that's all for today. We'll do more examples for both the cases, homogeneous as well as non-homogeneous, and then your doubts will be clear. Thank you.